And we are live for Adam and Jake on the movies. I'm Jake.
I'm Adam.
And every week we take a movie, we watch it. Sometimes we've seen it, sometimes we haven't seen it before. We answer a few questions about it and hopefully give you some insight on the movie, or at least chat along with you with
Yes.
your ideas. Hopefully you've watched these movies because we try to preview every week. But this week we're in Steve Martin November, and so this week we dipped into the vault to 1987 John Hughes written and directed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. Do you have a synopsis for us?
Yes, I do. A man must struggle to travel home for Thanksgiving with the lovable oaf of a shower curtain ring salesman as his only companion.
All right. First question. Initial reaction. You'd never seen this before. I'd never seen this before.
Who you want me to take it?
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really liked. I'll get into this later, but I liked the first act really well.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the whole movie, and it did take me in places that I didn't expect, and I kind of wonder why I'd never had watched it before.
Yeah.
Like why? I like Steve Martin movies, so why would I not have watched this one?
Exactly.
I've owned it. It's been in my DVD collection at least 5 years. At least I've never watched it.
You know what? I had watched the first 10 minutes of it before, and I got so stressed out that I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to have to stop. Like, I'm just going to have to stop watching this. But then once we made it our movie for the week, I was like, okay, I've got to watch it all the way through. So I'm going to do just that. I struggled through it for a bit, but when I got to the end, I was like, wow, that was worth the whole journey to get to the end of this movie. Like, it was so, like, the ending was so surprising. And spoiler alert, again, I like to give out spoilers, you don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, because if I give out the spoiler, then it doesn't.
And also, I would assume most people have probably seen it by now.
Yeah.
Unlike ourselves.
Exactly. But yeah, I was like, I wrote down, that was sweet. Because I thought it was a it was very stressful movie. And some other John Hughes movies like Vacation's very similar to this, except I don't ever feel the amount of stress in that movie. I'm just kind of like, I'm like a spectator when I watch Vacation. But for this one, I really felt like I was there and I was like in the movie. And that's why I got so stressed out, because I was like, oh, like this is my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
But I just, I liked it. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was going to. Having watched the first 10 minutes of it, I was like, I'm not going to like it. I just got to get to the end of it. And then I got to the end and I was like, I kind of liked it. Well, let's talk about the, what's one thing that you wish you could change about the movie?
I'm trying to think back. There was one point I was trying to edit and watch when the movie kind of got, I don't want to say dull, but there was a couple slow moments I thought in the first part of the second act, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of exactly where it is, but they had met, and it was after the taxi stuff, because that's still kind of setting it up. And where would you even think it was the first part of the second act? I thought drug for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, because I focused more on my editing, because I had the movie playing, and I was trying to piece everything together while watching the movie and listening as well. So I would say just trim it down a little bit. I can't think of anywhere specifically, but I knew there was a couple of places early in the second act I'm thinking. What about, can you recall any?
I don't. Okay, so I think the length of the movie was okay. In my opinion, the length of the movie was okay. The only scene that I didn't like, I would maybe do like some adjusting and like some reworking of the some of the scenes, the scene where he drops the F-bomb 5,000 times.
At the car, see, that's the only scene in the movie that I had ever seen before.
Okay, so I was like,
that's the only reason the movie is rated R, because of that scene.
Yeah. So when he starts,
it's a pretty clean movie.
Yeah, when he starts dropping it, like I'm like, I was like, okay, I get your point. Now I'm aggravated. I got really aggravated because it was just like one after another after another. It's like if you would say to me, using profanity like that is like saying like, so like if you're like talking like it just gets annoying.
Yeah.
I thought the payoff was good with the lady behind the counter.
Yeah.
Saying, and I was like, okay, I get why you did this. I understand the payoff, and it was one of the best payoffs I've ever seen for an F-bomb parade. But that was one where I felt like it was just pushed a little too far. So it was like minor adjustments like that are the only things that I really think I would change about it. The rest of it, I thought, was, the bathroom. I have a whole thing about bathrooms anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty gross.
I was like, gross. I can't really handle this. All right, so what did you think about the main character's arc in the film? I'll take this one first.
Okay.
It was definitely a very clear arc. At the beginning, he doesn't care about anyone but his selfishness within his family. It was very difficult to really figure out what his motivation was early on. But I'm guessing his original motivation was, I want to get home for myself and I don't care who else.
You have to step on to get there.
Yeah, I have to step on to get there. And by the end, he realized that it's not about him. It's about everybody. So I get it. I thought it was good. I don't think it was a very small arc, but I think that's all it needed.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. I think that, you could tell in the opening scene when they're sitting there just making those faces as the boss is looking at whatever he's looking at, the cover art or something. And the anticipation of them, waiting to see what he's going to say, and they postpone. Right away, Steve Martin, he's a cynical guy, I think that his motivation was just to get home as quickly to his family, and he didn't care. He had a plan, and he wasn't going to let anybody stand in his way, basically. And each one of these things tripped him up, and it just escalated and escalated and escalated. I mean, I guess I put myself in his position, and I think I probably, depending on which part of my life this happened, I would react similar to the way he did.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that. The profanity, I don't know if I would do that in real life or just do that inside my mind. But I think he had a small arc, and I think it was a nice little twist of a nice payoff.
Yeah.
Nothing grand, but it was nice, and you're like, oh, he kind of understands. Is it going to change him totally? Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe it could, but he's got a little glimmer of hope to change. Possibly.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna hold on to it. And I'm gonna say it. I'll say it later.
Okay.
Say it later. What about the secondary characters? Now there wasn't really, besides his wife, there wasn't really one secondary character.
No, I was thinking
really reoccurring. But what'd you think about the B sides?
I thought it was a nice little, when he was racing Kevin Bacon to the taxi. When I saw that in there, I was like, this would be my secondary character. I thought that, but I didn't see anybody else. Nobody else had been really, and I kind of had read, I'd read the back of the DVD box before, so I knew what it was about anyway. So I knew those were the only main characters. But I didn't know Kevin Bacon made an appearance at all, and he's in it for what, a minute at most?
Yeah.
And it's a nice little, and that's when I was like, he won't be back. But that was nice. What about yourself?
I love the husband and wife where he makes his wife put all the stuff in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I loved that part. I thought that was so funny. But I and this might be the second time he's gotten this honor, it might be the third time,
I know who you were going for.
but Michael McKean
Yeah.
as the state trooper. He just, I love young Michael McKean. I don't know
Probably
why.
that's like 30-year-old Michael McKean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was young in this.
I just love him so much. I think he's such a good straight character. Like he's such a funny straight character. He's never over the top, and that's what I love about him. He just makes everybody else around him so much better. I really do. The older I get, the more and more I'm like, Mike McKean is just a gem. He's an absolute gem.
And he's kind of an underrated gem as well.
Yeah, he really is.
Like underappreciated, really, to be honest.
He just makes everything and everyone better, I think. What do you think about the music?
I specifically listen to music now because this is one of the questions, and I thought the music to this fit well. I didn't think it was over the top. I didn't think it was silly. They played some of the songs when John Candy was in the it was like a messing around, this old 40s or 50s jazz song. I had heard it before on the Ron and Fez show, is where I had heard that song before. And so that made me look up, and I was noticing John Candy, and that sets the tone for him, like flicking the cigarette, all the car trouble, that whole scene. So I thought the music fit well.
It was so 80s. I loved how it was that good bridge of the gap between the 80s and the 90s. I loved the 80s style of Red River Valley. Do you know that old song?
I don't know the old.
Oh shoot, I can't think of it. But it's a recurring theme. It might be his theme, but it has some synthesizers with it too.
I remember synthesizers in there.
Anyway, I kept hearing it. I'm like, I know that song. I looked and I was like, that's Red River Valley, which is like an old like folk song from like way back in the day. It was like in the old used to be in the old John Ford movies.
I'll have to look it up after the show.
It's good. So I love that one, and then I love the every time you go away, takes a piece of me with you. I thought that was very appropriate, and I really I liked it. It was so 80s, but I think that's such a John Hughes movie. Is like he puts so much good music in his movies. It's very recognizable. So
see,
I was
in
a
all
big fan.
honesty, I didn't know until I did a little research last night that John Hughes even directed the movie, and I was like, what? I didn't know that, and I didn't know it was rated R really until when at the front of the movie it said that, and then I thought, oh yeah, that one scene. Until then, there's not all that much cussing. There's some things, but not all that much, and there's no f bombs before that or after that. I don't think
so.
That I can recall.
Yeah. John Hughes. I never really knew much about John Hughes, but then I went back and looked at his resume. Oh my gosh, that guy is like one of the best. I would love to have his resume. Him and Christopher Guest. I would take their resumes.
Even like 2 things on either one of the resumes.
Oh,
really.
Yeah, I would take Vacation, and didn't he do like Home Alone? I would take both of those. I would take this film. I would take.
I would take, probably his worst one would probably be, our best one.
Yeah, exactly. What was your favorite scene?
I've battled with this the whole time, so it would have to be one of Steve Martin's. I don't know if it would be a scene, but I would just say the whole first act.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the way they set up his character, I don't know, I didn't relate to it, but I could understand where he was coming from. And and I knew what was going to happen. It wasn't like I knew he wasn't going to get the cab. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that he was going to fall down when he's walking in the snow and he slides down. I knew that, I figured the bus when it drove by was going to splash some mud upon him. I know these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But the way they set it up, like you said, it made it kind of stressful.
Oh, so stressful.
But it also made me look to see what the payoffs may be. And to be honest with you, I got even more stressed when John Candy came, when
Yeah.
he came about, because a character like that in real life would bother me.
Oh, he stresses me out because I'm one of those people who attracts those kinds of people.
Yeah,
I listen too much, and that's a recipe for talkers.
you're when you're open and kind like that, people just
Yeah.
assume that, you know, and it's like I don't know if I'm kind, but please shut up.
Exactly.
But I don't know if I would say it out loud.
Just because I'm talking to you doesn't mean I want to be talking to
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Uh,
What about
I,
yourself?
I loved I thought it was a sweet moment when John Candy was freezing in the car. I liked when the car caught fire. I thought that was a fun scene. But you know, I changed my idea right at the end where Steve Martin gets on the train and he's like riding the train home, and he's thinking about he's putting all those pieces in his mind together.
That little montage.
Who John Candy is. I was like, I don't like this montage. This is a trash montage. But you know what? I started to feel like it was a love story at that point. Like I started
Yeah,
to feel this like love story of like a rom com, which is what pretty much this movie is
yeah,
between the
yeah.
two of them. And I was like, I want to see them like run and hug each other. And then the train comes back and he gets off of it and he like, because he puts all the pieces together. And I'm like, that was a good scene because at that point, and then once he says that his spoiler alert, once he says his wife had died,
His wife, yeah.
I was like, oh, that was so good. Like that
I
was such a good
didn't really
payoff.
see that coming.
That was left field. I It made me wonder too, where was John Candy going and why was he going there?
Yeah,
Like it did bring up questions in my mind of like, what was John Candy even doing? But I was like, that was such a good scene that I just had to hand it to him. And even like I said, even the F scene, as much as I didn't care for the overuse of the language,
yeah,
it was still a well written, it was still a good scene. I just
yeah.
didn't.
Like you didn't like the length of it.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought it was overdone. Um, so what do you think? What's your final thoughts on it?
You know, to be honest with you, I might watch this again. You know, it'll probably be, you know, maybe a year or so, but I'll revisit this again. I'll revisit it maybe next November. It might be, you know, a November tradition for maybe a year or so. No, will I watch it 5 or 10 times? No, but I might watch it again, maybe 2 more times, but over the next couple of years. What about yourself?
You know, I think this is one of those movies where this is and there's few movies like this where I'm like, if it's on, but like there's only 30 minutes left, I
Yeah.
still think it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it's worth watching it even if you can't see the whole thing, because I'm like, I don't think I would go out of my way to watch this film again.
Yeah.
But if I saw it on or if it popped up, and I don't care where it was in the movie, I would jump in.
And
I would
finish
jump
it
in
off.
and be like, let's see. To me, that's kind of like Contact. Contact
Oh,
is forever my guilty pleasure movie. I don't even care where it is in that movie. I have to watch it. Like I have to watch the movie.
I need to watch. I've never seen that. I've never seen
Oh,
it
like
before.
maybe we'll do that
Steve Martin, November.
after Steve Martin November. But yeah, I was like, I'll definitely. I don't think I would ever go out of my way to watch it, but I would definitely keep. If I saw it was on, I'd be like, oh, that's gonna be fun.
Right.
Let's go there. Let's go there and see just for 20, 30 minutes. Let's go.
I'll put it this way as well. I paid like $3 for the DVD 5 or 6 years ago, and I feel like I got my money's worth, even if I watch it once. I was like, okay,
There you go.
I'm glad we chose that one.
Yeah, that was a good pick. So there you go. So what about next week? Do we have an idea for next week?
I mean, I had an idea. Do you want to choose a Steve Martin movie?
Let's stick with the theme for one more week if you're cool with it.
So I've got. If you want to do more an obscure Steve Martin movie or one that probably everyone knows?
I leave.
I've got some criticism lately from a few people that I choose movies that most people don't know, and they'd rather hear from movies, other types of movies. So
Let's do. Wait, you got criticism that we do obscure movies?
yeah,
Let's play it. Let's play it safe. Then let's since it's a fun month, it's Thanksgiving month. Let's just play it safe. Let's have fun. Let's do a well-known one.
how about Father of the Bride?
Father of the Bride. Okay.
Yes, have you seen this one?
I was hoping you were going to say Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but.
Oh well, I figured we could sign off in November with that one.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think we have one more week before, don't we?
I don't know, but we can make it happen.
Okay.
No rules. It's 2020. There's no rules.
See, I went with the family-friendly one.
Yeah.
So that would include everyone.
Yeah. I think that I think that I've seen it a long time ago, but I can't remember hardly anything about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's early Steve Martin, 1991.
All right. So there you go, everybody. Go out and watch Father of the Bride, because we're going to be chatting about it next week in the next installment of Adam and Jake on the Movies. Where can they watch these episodes?
They can watch these episodes on the Other People Show on YouTube. Also, King Network TV, powered by Roku, on the Roku Fire Stick or wherever you can get Roku channel. Just download the King Network TV app, and we are on the main page. Also, kingnetwork.net, I think.
We're also, are we still on Wednesday nights?
Wednesday, yeah, 7 p.m. And they're going to put us on another night as well. I'm not sure what's the second night, but we'll be on.
We'll keep giving them content if they'll keep playing it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, let's go do it for this episode. We'll be back next week with Father of the Bride. So I'm Jake.
And I'm Adam.
And we will see you next time on the movies. Have a good one.
See everyone.